Hi, everybody. This is Rose Wilkerson, and you are either in my Karma Busting Techniques group or you are in my Manifestation Techniques group. So today I'll be doing a video on the Shreem Brzee mantra. Just exactly what is Shreem Brzee, right? What is the mantra? Give you a breakdown of it. I'll also talk about how you can use flower petals to magnify your chanting. So I'm going to give just a couple or so for people to kind of join in and see that I'm on video. Stop by. So just hang with me a little bit. I will begin in just a couple of minutes. I'm actually going to, I wanted to play some music for you. And I just have to find it. So I'm sorry I didn't have this already geared. Let's see. I didn't have this set up already. So hi, everybody. If you're joining me, I will be doing a session on the Shreem Brzee mantra and how you can use flower petals to enhance your mantra chanting practice. So just please hold on for a moment. I am looking for some, you know what? I think I'm just going to use my cell phone. It'll be so much easier. I can find things a lot quicker on here. I'm one of those cell phone people. Do a lot of work and other things, looking at social media, that kind of stuff. So let's do a Ganesha song. How about that? Hopefully you guys will be able to hear it.
Ganesha is an elephant-headed god.
Okay, it might be a little loud,
His energy,
but you'll be able to hear
obstacles
this in the background. This is Dr. Pillai talking about Ganesha, and he does a Ganesha mantra chant. So just listen while I wait. Just give me another couple of minutes, and we'll get started, okay? I'm really excited you guys are here. Show me some love by clicking like or clicking love or a happy face or something. Let me know you're out there. Put a comment. Say hello. I'm just going to give a little bit more time for people to join, okay? Hey, Naki, how you doing? She's in Manifestation Techniques group. Love to you, love to you. Now, some of you I might be able to see, some of you I might not. Facebook is really weird when they do their live videos. It's really strange to set up. I haven't figured it out yet, but at least you can see me. You can listen to this Ganesha song. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I'm doing great, Naki. Having some fun today, talking about Shreem Brzee. How are you? Well, you already said you were great, so I'm assuming you're speaking the truth. I know you are. All right, let's see. I'm taking a look to see what this video looks like. Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm about to get started. Come join in on the fun. Let's talk about mantras. Shreem Brzee. That's the focus today. Pass. Hi. Hi, Pass. I see you in my Karma Busting Techniques group. Hello, hello. Glad you're here. Divine Aubrey. Hi. Hi, Divine. How are you doing? This is so great. I can connect with everybody this way. Just give me a couple of more minutes. At the end of this song, we'll get started, okay?
Sarva Janami
Naki, can you tell me that you can hear the music? If it's clear, hit me up. It is a great song. You're right, Naki. And I'm glad you guys could hear it. Shreem and clean. Gum Ganapataye Bada Bada Sarvajaname Asamanaya Swaha. I love that song. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Rose Wilkerson. I am a Pillai Center coach and facilitator, and I also work for the Pillai Center as a program coordinator and developer. So some of the online courses that you see or that you're in, I may be a program coordinator of. So such courses such as Ganesha Consciousness or Ganesha Decoded or Warrior Ganesha. If you're in Wealth Rising, you know me as a coordinator, and we have share a lot of wonderful stories. There are other courses too, and I just can't remember right now. So basically, what I do is to give you a little bit of a rough description. Dr. Pillai will sometimes do a lecture and a meditation, and what I do is I take that and I help to build a course around that, and we put it up on the Pillai Center Academy site. So about being a facilitator. So I am a coach and a facilitator also with the Pillai Center, and I help to facilitate the learning of Dr. Pillai's teachings. And just as I'm doing right here, I'm doing this live video today on the Shreem Brzee mantra. And I'll also talk about how using flower petals will be able to allow you to enhance your mantra chanting practice. So let's go ahead and get started. I see some people like Judy and Tina have joined, or at least have clicked like. And how you guys doing? And Naki, I already acknowledged you on Facebook as well. There are probably others. And so we're going to get started. So the way this is going to go is that I'm going to talk to you about the Shreem Brzee mantra. I'm actually going to break it down for you. Talk about each part of that mantra, and I'll talk about the what we call Powertimes at the Pillai Center. We talk about Powertimes. What are the most powerful times to chant the mantra, Shreem Brzee? And then I'll go into talking about flowers and why do we use flowers? What's that about? And how can they actually be used to enhance or even magnify what you're trying to create with your Shreem Brzee chanting process. So I'll actually do a demonstration for that. So let's first talk about Shreem Brzee. What is that? Some of you who are already familiar with Sanskrit mantras, you may know the Shreem part, but you haven't quite been able to identify the Brzee part, and that's okay. So I'm going to break that down for you. So Shreem by itself is a seed mantra, often called a bija mantra in Sanskrit, and it is connected to the goddess Lakshmi. And if you know about the goddess Lakshmi, I'll show you my altar a little bit later. So Lakshmi is a universal archetype whose energy supports the qualities of prosperity, joy, and beauty, and especially abundance and wealth as well. So Dr. Pillai, I'll talk about that in just a second. But anyway, Lakshmi is, she's very beautiful. Let me see if I can show a picture. I'm going to turn my laptop a little bit. If you see this picture of her, this is not very much a close-up, but you'll at least be able to see her. She's a very beautiful look. She has this golden crown and jewels on it. She has 4 arms, 2 of which, in this particular picture, she is holding a lotus flower, a pink lotus flower. Pink is her color, by the way. So that's something to know. As you know, pink is a very kind of a color that resembles, friendship and real love. Red is like passionate love, like fire, and then pink is friendship love. We need a little bit of that in our relationships, right? So Lakshmi also, as a goddess of wealth, prosperity, and what have you, rules over the planet Venus. So every planet that's in our solar system pretty much is ruled by an archetype. And Venus, you guys may know about Venus if you know about Venus, and if you've heard about Venus, the goddess of love, right? In Greek mythology, very similar in the Hindu or Vedic tradition as well. I would say Vedic astrology tradition. And that Venus represents love. It represents relationships, right? And enjoyment, sensual pleasure. So if you think about Lakshmi and wealth and prosperity and joy, all that's very connected to the planet of Venus and what Venus represents. And think about it in our own lives, how many people can't wait till it's Friday, right? So like today is Friday. This is actually a Venus day, and you can see that I have my pink on. This is a Shreem Brzee, I'm sorry, a yantra, sorry. Well, I'll talk about that too. And then I don't know if you can see, I have a little pink little hair thing. Have a little pink on my eye. So I'm trying to get into, the essence of Lakshmi. Okay, so Fridays represent the day of love. It's the end of the work week. Usually people are going out on Fridays. They're either seeking love or they are with their love or something like that. Or maybe they're just relaxing at home, loving to be in their material comforts at home. So Fridays are great days for that. And Lakshmi's power is very powerful on Fridays as well as during the full moon. The full moon has very strong energy in that. All of the archetypes, all of the gods and goddesses are accessible during the full moon, especially goddess. Whether you're thinking about the goddess or if you're thinking about Sarasvati or Lakshmi or Lalita, etc., all the archetypes are very available to you during the full moon. And actually, we have a full moon that's going to be coming up just in several hours, a little bit over 12 hours or so. So that's Shreem, right? Shreem is connected to Goddess Lakshmi. It is a Sanskrit mantra, and it represents the qualities of prosperity and joy and beauty, as well as abundance and wealth. Brzee. Now, Brzee is a very unique mantra, and it's unique in the fact that it was revealed to the world by Dr. Pillai, if you heard of Dr. Bhaskaran Pillai at the Pillai Center. And it was revealed to Dr. Pillai during what's called a Nadi reading. A Nadi reading is I should have looked that up before I talked about that. But it's this particular kind of reading that you can do, that you can have, that looks at your life. And I can't give you too much more than that because I'm really going to sound very unintelligent about it. And so there are people who are better equipped to explain that. But as I understand it, there are certain kinds of, I guess you would call them leaves that there are written, I don't know if they're scriptures or something like that. And what they do is they use your thumbprint to identify which leaf actually refers to you. And they're all different. There are different sets of Nadi leaves and to be used for a Nadi reading. So I apologize. I can't give you any more than that. I'll try to supply a link so that you guys can find out more about what is a Nadi reading. So anyway, during this type of reading, it was revealed to Dr. Pillai, the Brzee mantra, by Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra was a king. He was actually a living person. He's no longer living in a physical body, but he does exist in another realm. And he was a king as well as an enlightened sage. And one of the things that if I understand the story correctly, he was a king and he cared a lot about his people, everyone in his kingdom. And he realized that no matter how much he did for them, there were still people who were experiencing poverty, lack of money, the lack of the ability to be able to take care of themselves. And one thing that he did, he really wanted to find out what can I do to resolve poverty in my kingdom? And he actually gave up his kingship in order to do that. So, he gave up his kingship. He became a sage, meditated and learned mantras and whatnot. And that was like many, 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 it's not even many moons ago, but, probably thousands of years ago. And but his consciousness is still there. It's still alive. And even in the other realm where he is existing now, he is still meditating. He meditated, I don't know, some over 1,000 or 1,500 years, and received the mantra Brzee. The mantra Brzee gets rid of poverty consciousness. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. So Brzee in particular removes scarcity of any kind, and it's effective for health as well as relationships and money, right? So you don't want, poverty consciousness. It helps to dispel that. It's great and one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up, especially in my karma busting techniques group, is that when you chant Shreem Brzee or the Brzee part of the mantra, the great thing about it is that it gets rid of your poverty consciousness. Now, it has to be practiced. It has to be chanted on a consistent basis. So I'm not saying this is like, you press a little button here and everything goes away and you're fine. It doesn't quite work like that. You got to put some effort into it. But it's real, I would say, not just the meaning, but its purpose and its function is to get rid of poverty consciousness, any kind of scarcity, right? It allows you to conceive the impossible. So in order for you to experience miracles, if you want to manifest a miracle in your life, you really have to have the consciousness in order to create that. Now, a lot of people will say, I would love to win the lotto and, win $20 million. Well, that's great. A lot of people think that, but they don't manifest that because it's not something that they really believe in, So, in order for a miracle to happen, you need to really believe that the miracle is going to happen, whatever that is for you. Brzee, like I said, is a very unique mantra. So you're not going to find any text or, scriptures based on that mantra. This was something that was provided, specifically to Dr. Pillai from Vishwamitra and his otherworldly existence. And so basically what Dr. Pillai did, this happened many years ago, I think it was back in the 90s, where he put together Shreem, because Shreem, you have, Lakshmi's energy, prosperity, joy, wealth, and money, or abundance. And he put that together with Brzee, right, which will get rid of poverty consciousness. So that's why you have Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee, and that's how you pronounce it. So the Powertimes, the most powerful times to chant Shreem Brzee would be on a Venus-influenced day, right? Like Friday. So today is Friday. This is a perfect time to chant Shreem Brzee. Also, the full moon is a very powerful time. That's a very powerful time to connect with the goddess or goddess energy, with Lakshmi in particular as well. And then also there's something called the Venus aura. So I'm not going to get that deep into it, but basically what auras are, there are periods of time throughout the day that are governed in a sense or influenced by certain gods and goddesses. A loose translation of aura would be hour, but it's not exactly, it may not be exactly 60 minutes. It really depends on, your geographic location, as well as the time of day, et cetera, et cetera. So, but there is something called a Venus aura. If you want to learn more about that, my suggestion is for you to go to astroved.com. Do a search we actually have a new website that is called Astropedia. It is a part of Astroved, has a lot of wonderful information. And then at Astropedia on their homepage, they have they will provide for you what are the auras of the day for your geographic location. So you got to make sure that you have the right geographic location at the top. Make sure it has your city and what's the state or country. And then when you scroll down, you'll see more information about, what are the influences of the day, as well as a chart of all the Venus auras from sun up to, I think, midnight or so. Okay? So that's great. So if you can chant during the Venus aura every day, that's great. If you can't, don't worry about it. Chant anyway. The one thing you want to do is that you want to chant the mantra Shreem Brzee every day. The standard practice when you're doing a mantra practice, the traditional discipline is to chant it 108 times in one session, one sitting, basically. Or you can do more than that, 1,008, 100,008, something like that. Now, sometimes you have time for that, sometimes you don't. If you don't have time for 108, then I have a solution for you. So I say do what you can do, right? So you can chant it 3 times, you can chant it 6 or 9 or 27 or 54. The only thing that you don't want to do is not to do it at all. If you end up skipping for whatever reason, that's okay, dude. Don't make it too big of an issue. Okay, let me see if I can get this up. Okay. Whoops. So if you look at here, I have a little bowl here of flower petals. Why do I have a bowl of flower petals? So flowers contain a wonderful energy of purity. They connect us to what's called the Akash. It's also called the causal plane or space element. They really attract divine energy. And you can tell this by for those of you who don't have any allergy issues around flowers, flowers just brighten up the room. I mean, have you ever decided, let me just purchase some flowers? Sometimes they're fragrant. Especially the fragrant ones, you can smell them throughout the room. There are some flowers that actually don't have fragrance, but there's something about having them, in your home, in your room, in your office that just brighten things up. And that's because flowers have this kind of vibration of attracting divine energy. Okay. And it's like charges the atmosphere, right? And it has this spiritual vibrations, these very positive spiritual vibrations. So one of the advantages of using flowers or even a flower petal for your chanting is that when you use a flower petal, like this one, and you chant, you could do it, Shreem Brzee, or you could hold it to your heart. My heart's down here, so you guys can't see it, but you could hold it to your heart, Shreem Brzee. It actually magnifies your chant. You just do it once, right? Shreem Brzee once. It actually magnifies it by 1,000, okay? So those of you who are short on time and you are unable to, chant, you don't have the time to do 108, you can use flower petals, to chant into, and you'll at least do 1,000 per petal. Now, sometimes they say it's best to do a full flower. Sometimes we're not able to do that, and use a flower, or you can use a flower petal. So I'm turning my laptop a little bit here so I can show you my Lakshmi altar. I'm going to show you my altar, and then I'll do a session where I will chant Shreem Brzee. If you want to chant with me or just listen, I might also play Dr. Pillai's voice. I really prefer his over mine. He's the one with the spiritual mojo. Okay, so if you look over here, you see. This is actually Ganesha. This is my Ganesha part of the altar, and I always call on Ganesha before I do most of my spiritual practices. Let me see if I can bring this forward just a little bit. Okay. So on my altar, I'm going to introduce you to all the parts. You see, I have a lit candle. It's good to have a candle. This is actually a ghee candle. It's a candle that's made of ghee. In particular, it burns pretty quickly, and you should have a holder for it, but this is something that I bought on Amazon. Usually in was a Hindu traditions, they will use a ghee lamp. I haven't figured out how to do mine yet, so until I do, I will use a ghee candle, a ghee tea light candle, very small candle. Over here, we have my statue of Lakshmi. I'm going to see if I can bring her closer to you. Hopefully not cause too many problems. Let's see if we can bring Lakshmi to you. This is my Lakshmi statue. Hi. You can see she has a little flower already. I actually gave her a flower as an offering. Okay. Right here, whoops, hold on. And I usually put a little piece of dried fruit also as a food offering. Right here is a Shreem Brzee yantra. And actually in the description of the video, I actually have a link if you're interested in this. This is a 2-inch Shreem Brzee yantra. Yantras are powerful spiritual machines that, connect you in a very strong way. Also with, what do you call it? The image that's on here, the star, to Shreem Brzee, the energy of Shreem Brzee. Right here is my version of Kubera. Kubera is like the divine banker, right? So if you want to have a friend in the world, you definitely want Kubera. Actually, he's really the golden laughing Buddha. But this is my representation of Kubera for right now. He's very, very happy. And then over here is a statue of Vishnu. Vishnu is the consort of Lakshmi. In other words, the husband. They work very well together. In my last video, I talked about how it's great to have money, but you want to be able to sustain it, right? You don't want to get a whole bunch of money or a new job and then you just blow your money on whatever. So you want to have the ability to sustain it, and that's one of the many, many wonderful functions of Vishnu. He is a supreme being, one of the top 3 supreme beings, in the Hindu cosmology. Right here's another yantra that I have. As you can tell, I love yantras. This is a Kubera yantra, and it has numbers on it, and there's a powerful way to use it. It's actually at the Pillai Center's YouTube channel. They actually tell you how to use it to help invoke the blessings of prosperity and money in your life. Okay, so that's basically what I have on my altar. I also have a pink sequin cloth. That is the color of Lakshmi. Here is a picture, as I showed you earlier, of her. And then there's another picture, pardon me, Vishnu here, of Vishwamitra. This is Vishwamitra, the king and enlightened sage who gave the Brzee mantra to Dr. Pillai. And this is something I got off of Google, so just FYI. Not a special, a picture here. So I'm going to go to my cell phone here, and then we can, let me turn this back around. So you can still see my altar. All right, I think that will work. I need to tip this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll demonstrate how to chant, how to use the flower petals to magnify your Shreem Brzee mantra session. Now, you can use flower petals for any mantra. It's not just Shreem Brzee, but we're talking about Shreem Brzee today. So I'm going to turn on my little mantra loop here.
Shreem Brzee.
So as this plays, if you don't have your altar set up or flower petals, just listen to Dr. Pillai chanting. If you have flower petals, you want to take the flower petal, you can put it in front of your mouth, chant Shreem Brzee. You could do it out loud. You could do it softly. And you could just put it over your heart. And then you want to place it over here. It's like an offering to Lakshmi. So I'll do that for a little bit, and then we will, and then I'll conclude. You guys feel free to ask me questions, okay? So use the comment area to ask any questions about what I'm teaching you right now, and let's go ahead and get started.
Shreem Brzee. Shreem Brzee. Shreem Shreem Brzee, 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 Shreem Brzee.
Okay. So I'm only going to do, that was about 2.5 minutes. And, obviously you can do it as long or as short as your schedule dictates. So let's see. If you look over here, you can see, hopefully you'll be able to see, maybe I'll move Kubera over, my laughing Buddha, my rich laughing Buddha. And you'll see these flower petals here. So I have about, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Maybe about 19 or 20 petals that are sitting there where I chanted Shreem Brzee, either by mouth or place it on my heart and offered it to Lakshmi. So what's the wonderful thing about that is that so 20, and you multiply that by 1,000, that's 20,000. So that's 20,000 times that I have chanted Shreem Brzee. Now, it doesn't mean that I physically chanted 20,000, but the flower petals, whenever you chant a mantra into it once, it magnifies your chanting by 1,000. So those of you who are, wanting to, maybe if you're short on your schedule, and you're not able to, chant 108 times, you could take a couple of flower petals. I would say maybe 3. I like 3s. That's why I do 3. I'm not saying that that's like some kind of rule, but take 3 flower petals, chant Shreem Brzee into each one, and place it as an offering for Lakshmi. So if you don't have a statue of Lakshmi, please don't worry about it. You can also have a printed image, and that's okay as well. I do have a yantra, and if you're interested in looking at yantras as a way to enhance your practice, I strongly recommend it. I will actually do a video on yantras in the future. And in the description of this video, I have for you a couple of links to Shreem Brzee yantras that you can use. So this one, as I had showed you earlier, this is just Shreem Brzee. I'm sorry, there's a bit of a shine there. So this is just, it has Shreem Brzee in the center of the star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? I don't know, 5, 6 point star. I'm not sure. And then also the Sanskrit writing on there is Shreem Brzee. So all the, what you see all around the star here, all of in Sanskrit writing, that's all Shreem Brzee. So you can get one like this. This is a 2-inch Shreem Brzee yantra. There is also a 3-inch one. It's much larger. It looks like that. And it has Shreem Brzee in the center at the top, but it will also, it's a personalized yantra where you can have your name in the center. And I believe they also put your birth star, so that you'd have to give them some, your date of birth and location in order to make that happen. So you can actually have your name on a yantra for Shreem Brzee, which means that you are surrounded by, Goddess Lakshmi and the Shreem Brzee mantra. So that's a wonderful thing. And that link for you to use, to take a look at it, or even to purchase, is available to you in the description of the video. So what do you do with the flowers afterwards? Okay, I chanted Shreem Brzee, now what? Well, just as what flowers do, after a while, they will start to wilt. And as soon as they start to wilt, you want to take those flowers, and there are a couple of things you want to do with it. So we highly recommend that you take the flowers and you place them outside in a place in nature where people won't bother them, okay? So I have a backyard that has a particular area where no one will bother, whatever flower offerings I have. And so I take those and I put them over there. Now, if you don't have a backyard, then find some place where people are not going to tread on it, or they'll be, messing with it or something like that. You don't want that to happen. We do not suggest that you put it in the trash. Okay. This is, remember, a lot of when you provide an offering to a god or a goddess, it's considered to be blessed. So you just want to throw it in a garbage can. What you can do is, if you want to collect the flowers into a bag and take that bag outside, and then dispose of the flowers or flower petals into a place of nature where no one's going to tread on them or bother them, you can do that. But we do not throw them in the garbage can. That's a bad sign. It's not like, you're doomed if you do that. Don't do that, you'll be doomed. We just say don't do that, It's out of respect, right? Love and respect. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comment below the video. I'm looking at what I have here, and I don't see any questions as of yet. Not too many people are on tonight. I understand it is Friday, and maybe you're trying to get your love harmony thing going on. So I totally understand that. I want to say really quickly hi to some friends. Satina, hi. Thanks for clarifying the part to whisper the mantra into the. Yes, you can whisper the mantra into the flower petal, or you can even chant it out loud if you want to do that. It really is an option for you. Either one will do. Mamunu, if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, please forgive me. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this. And Aruna, how you doing? Thank you for joining. It's Satina. Wonderful to see you. Okay, so if you watch this video and I'm not live and you still have questions, please put them in the comments below and I will answer your questions. I'm happy to do so. Just a little tidbit before I go for my manifestation techniques Facebook group. It's a little bit different than karma busting techniques. And I just want to, say to you that I've been a person who has loved Sanskrit mantras ever since I read about it and practiced it. My first book was Healing Mantras by Thomas Ashley Farron. He also goes by the name, it's Namadeva Archaya, I believe. That's a spiritual name. I love chanting mantras, and they really do manifest and create just different things depending upon what you're chanting the mantras for. So if you're in my manifestation techniques group, just know that chanting mantras is the thing, and it really can powerfully change your life as it has mine. And so, like I said, if you have any, Anit, how you doing? You're very welcome. Oh, great. I'm glad that this video was clear to you. That's wonderful. I'm really here to be of help. If you guys, even if you don't have a question, but there is something that you would like for me to talk about, please put that in the comments as well. I'm always open to, providing you with information. There's so much that, I'm a person who follows Dr. Pillai's teachings, and there's so much that, he has on his YouTube channel and Facebook page, and sometimes the information is overwhelming. So I will be doing presentations. I'm going to try to do it every 2 weeks, a live video. If I can do it every week, I will. Let me know if there is something in particular that you want me to talk about, and I will do my best to put it in the schedule if I can find enough information. I think it's Nachiket. How are you doing? How many days do you recommend? Okay, so in a traditional mantra chanting practice, it's usually 40 days or 45 days to see some kind of a difference or experience some kind of a difference. Now, let me first say that that's in a standard practice. I believe that people should chant mantras every day, regardless of how many days it is. But you can start off with 40 to 45 days. It's very important when you do your practice. What is it that you want to experience? What are you trying to create? You know, when you're doing Shreem Brzee mantra, don't just say, I want a job. Okay, well, there are a lot of jobs out there. The job of, sweeping streets or cleaning bathrooms. If that's what you want to do, that's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But just understand there are all different kinds of jobs. Be very specific about what you want, as well as what kind of work environment you want, right? Remember, Venus is all about relationships. That includes work relationships too. So you want to know, you can get a job, but you could have a horrible boss. You don't want that. Or maybe you want your own business and you want great clients, customers who support you and they love what you do. You don't want clients that will, just be crazy and do bad things. So you want to make sure you do that. So 40 to 45 days every day. The standard practice is to chant Shreem Brzee or any mantra 108 times in one sitting, if you can do that. If you can't do 108, like I said, use your flower petals. Do something. Chant 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. Use a couple of flower petals, 2 or 3 of them. Build it into your schedule. We understand that people are busy, and sometimes these kinds of daily rituals you have to really build into your schedule. So the best thing to do is to do something, right? So, if you have to chant it 3 times and that's all you have time for, then go ahead and do that. I'd rather you do that than not do anything at all. Okay? Hey, Justin. He said, oh, live stream, huh? Yes. That's your kid. Got it. Great. Okay. I'm going to look at my other group here. See any other questions? Aruna, it was beautiful. You're very welcome. Okay. So everyone, I'm going to call it a time. I try not to make these too long. My first video was like an hour and a half, and I'm trying to keep this at least under 40 minutes. So thank you so much. Any questions that you have, please feel free to post them in the comments. I will respond. I love to you all. Have a happy Venus Friday. If it is Friday where you are, if it is Saturday, have a great Saturday or great weekend. And chant Shreem Brzee. The holidays are coming up. You might be thinking about gifts or just, having, being able to spend something on yourself or pay your bills. Chant Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee, Shreem Brzee. See you guys later.